Welcome to the Instagram stories for Monday, March 21st. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. So on Mondays, we talk about what the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, shared on his Ask Me Anything. A lot of times we talk about the information he shared, whether it's relevant or not, add context, different things like that. In this particular case, he dropped a really good answer to a question, and I don't agree with the answer at all. I'll explain why. First, the question is, do hashtags help views? I'm going to play his answer, but I would say that historically, if you asked me this in 2019, 2020, I would say no, hashtags don't help at all. Basically, they're useless until I discovered the hashtag Slayer app. I had Matthew Pierce, who made the hashtag Slayer app, on my podcast. He actually guest hosted this flash briefing for a week. And after a week of trialing the hashtag Slayer app, I was convinced that I'd been using hashtags wrong for years. There are certain hashtags that do not help you get views at all, and you would never know that. You'd have to work on them one by one, but his app handles all that. Okay, I'm going to play Adam Mosseri's answer to do hashtags help views, and then I'm going to play you Matthew Pierce's response to Adam Mosseri's response to give you more context. Okay, here's the clip.
Not really. They do help us to understand what a post is about, which means it might be more likely to show up in a place like a hashtag page, for instance. But in general, no, I wouldn't try to think of hashtags as a way to get more distribution.
Okay, Adam Mosseri says hashtags do not help you get more views. Okay, now here's hashtag Slayer app creator Matthew Pierce, who has great insights on hashtags, giving his take on Adam Mosseri's answer.
No, I wouldn't try to think of hashtags as a way to get more distribution.
Yes, but no. If you think of hashtags as a way to get distribution, you'll get less distribution. Let me explain. Hashtags work best when they're as relevant as possible to your posts. This helps Instagram to categorize your content correctly. And when Instagram can do this, you're going to get seen more. Categorize your content based on the audience you're trying to reach, the topic you're talking about, and the industry you're in. If you do this, you get more reach. If you just look at them as a way to get reach, you get less reach because you're not properly categorizing your content.
This is all really great info. I can't say enough good stuff about the hashtag Slayer app. I'm going to include a link to sign up for a free trial in the show notes. Normally you get a 7-day free trial, but if you use code IG Stories, you get a free 30-day trial. Matthew hooked you up like that. I mean, he takes care of people. What can I say? Great app. Look for the link in the show notes and hit up Matthew on the DMs. He'll help you. Awesome guy. Let's go on to the next question. How do you make a reel? I would have thought this would be obvious, but anyway, here's how to make a reel.
The easiest way is when you open up Instagram, there's a plus at the top. If you tap that, you can then tap Reel. You can also go to the Reels tab and then hit the camera at the top, and then you can tell whatever story you want. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
All right, next question. I can't figure out how to put a link in my story. Help. Remember when I thought links in stories were going to be a game changer? That was in like 2017 or 2018. Here's how to put a link in your story.
So now you go to the sticker tray at the top, and then under that tray, you'll see a link option, and you can add any link you want.
Okay, the last question we're going to talk about today. Do you have to use Family Center if you're a teen on Instagram? If you're not familiar, Family Center refers to the parental controls that Instagram announced last week. We covered them in depth on the show. You can go back and listen to last week's episode if you want more information about that. Here's if you have to use Family Center if you're a teen on Instagram.
You don't have to. We think that should be a decision between a teen and their parent. But if a parent chooses, they should be able to see how much time that their teen spends on Instagram and set limits, and more tools to come.
Okay, that's going to do it for today's show. Check out all the information for the app that I mentioned and the discount code for hashtag Slayer app in the show notes, which you can find on Apple Music or Spotify. Thanks for listening, and be sure to come back tomorrow for more Instagram news.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks at Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently. Until they let me run my team and start to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacy. I use their logo with permission. Not malicious or callously, no trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.
Thanks for listening all the way to the end of the episode. I wanted to mention that I'm looking for brands to partner with in order to make content for them. If you work for a brand or you own a brand or you just want somebody to create content for what you're doing, send me a direct message. I'd love to chat with you, looking specifically to make video content around Reels and TikToks. Send me a direct message at Daniel Hill Media.